kids, my wife. I'll probably be here for the rest of my life. I'm living on the island. When summer comes and winter falls, the island ladies go to shopping malls. Take daddy's credit card and charge it all. They're living on an island. Oh, we're living on Long Island. Oh, you know it's so much fun. I'm living on the island. I'm just basking in the sun. Hey, Anthony, give me a vibe.
Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Benny Rizzuti Show. And here I am with my honorary co-host, Jack Cloonan. Hey, Jack. Welcome.
Hey, Benny. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming. Today's a very special day for you. So when I read it on the social media that it was a special day for you, and I said, let me ask him if he, wants to do the show. So tell everybody.
Cool. Yeah, I was wondering what happened. I got a text like 2 hours ago from you. Today I'm a cancer survivor, and today is 3 years in remission for me. So 3 years ago, I officially beat cancer today. So
Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
And that was leukemia, yeah.
Leukemia, yeah.
And you beat that.
Yeah.
And now we do have a special guest also.
We do.
Do you remember his name?
Nigel Fullerton.
Yeah, very good.
Right, yeah.
Better than me. No, Nigel Fullerton, he's been on Kimmel. He's been on so many different shows. He's done commercials. We're going to find out. He has videos, podcasts.
That's right.
Okay.
He was telling me beforehand. All this stuff that he...
Look in the camera. Don't look at him. Look in the camera. You ever see the movie Apocalypse Now?
No.
No? All right. Nigel's laughing in the background. He knows what I was going to get at. Look in the camera like you're fighting. There's a scene where the guys are, they're going into battle.
Okay.
And Francis Coppola, who directed the film, also does a quick spot where he is one of those news guys. So when the guys are going by, they look and they see him, and he says, "Don't look in the camera, don't look in the camera. Like you're fighting, keep moving." To make it an action shot. And bombs were exploding all over. You had to be there.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. Yeah, like, I was here a couple months ago, but I was a guest, and now you're telling me I'm like Andy Richter. Well, first you said Ed McMahon, but I'm too young to know who that was, so I'm Andy Richter.
You don't know who Ed McMahon is?
I've heard his name, but I wouldn't have been able to, like...
Do you know Johnny Carson?
Yes.
Yeah? Well, Ed McMahon was Johnny Carson's man who sat next to him. And then when the guest comes in, he moves over, which you're going to do.
Cool.
No, but I'm so happy you're here now.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
One of the things I love about you were here last time, you had me cracking up. You are one of the up-and-coming Long Island comedians, but you played the city last week, right?
Yeah, I've been going into the city a lot, the comic strip in Manhattan. Been doing that a lot.
How'd you do over there?
Oh, it's really fun. It's a great club. I love it. I was there. I was doing a cancer fundraiser like a month or so ago, and then the owner was in the audience, and he's a cancer survivor himself. And you've probably seen some. I joke about having cancer and all that stuff. So he totally related to it and loved it, and he just told me to keep coming back and gave me some prime time.
So the owner gave you an open invitation to go back to the comic strip.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Let me shake your hand.
Thank you.
That's great.
Cancer finally paid off, I guess.
See, you can laugh about things like that.
You really have to.
It's good, but not all your jokes deal with cancer, right?
No, I have about 50,000 other illnesses I choose. So,
so that's you joke about it because you should go on. You obviously have a great sense of humor, and I'll just tell you from somebody who I actually go see comedians. Not, because I perform comedy, but I actually pay money to see people. And I would say you have a great sense of humor, but if all you do are jokes about being ill and sick, after a while people will say, it's just like seeing somebody who's obese and just does jokes about being fat.
Yeah.
After a while you're like, oh, how much. But a great comedian is somebody who could diversify their material.
Yeah.
And that's good, because my illness, I had a little problem peeing over the wintertime. And I tell people, I had a kink in my garden hose. So, but I had a friend who had a problem urinating, and he was doing jokes. And when he was doing the jokes, what happens if you do that kind of joke, people get up and they go to the bathroom, so they walk out in the middle of your set. So that's why I won't do jokes about my illnesses.
Yeah.
Because I have one great thing about me is I am overcome with stupidity. I'm just a person who's stupid and doesn't even realize how stupid. Like I'll say something, you know,
Yeah.
I'll say something stupid and think that it was an intelligent thing to say.
Okay, cool. We have
So-
something in common.
So that's what I do. You know, I just talk about my stupidity.
Whatever works, you know.
That's right. Do you know what this is?
Some type of vegetable.
Yeah. It's not something we're gonna smoke after the show. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
This is a gugutz, but it's spelled C-U-Z-Z-C-U-C-C. I can't tell you how it's spelled because I'm gonna misspell it, and my cousins are gonna come to my house and put me in the trunk of a Cadillac. So they're gonna give me cement shoes. But it's I'll have the spelling by the end of the show. I promise you.
Okay.
All right. I wanted to tell you, I was really, you know, this show here, hopefully this show is going to go on to cable. This is going to be one of our shows that's going to be broadcast in a few months down the road on cable. And I forgot my laptop at home. And I had these great videos of, I had a video of you. I had a couple of Nigel's videos. So during the show, when I said we're going to show this video of Nigel, just look in the camera and smile and look stupid, which we're good at. And all right.
Yeah, no, just not much
And
work
for the on this show that's going to be broadcast on the web, it won't have the videos. But when we're on cable, it'll give you something to look forward to.
Cool.
We'll have some really cool
on cable,
videos.
something to look forward to too.
Yeah, right. Do you
That's
get
cool.
cable?
Yes, I do.
Oh, all right. I'm too cheap. I still have an antenna on the top of my house. Do you know what an antenna is?
Yeah, we have one. My mom bugged my dad to take it down like every week.
Oh, so your dad's
Yeah.
one of them guys that the Christmas lights are
It's
still
not
on?
bothering anybody.
Yeah, that's the way. Wives think it's so easy to climb up on the roof and go, and they're just going to supervise, right? Your mom's not going up on the roof.
Yeah.
Your dad's got to go on the roof to take it down.
Yeah.
Women think it's so easy to go on. I can't go on the roof. I get stuck on the roof. 2 times I went up on the roof, and I have no problem going up. It's coming down. I had to have a friend drive from he lives in the next town over, or like 2 towns over from my house. And my wife had to call him, and he had to come to help me get down because I was too scared to get off my own roof.
Twice?
No, the first time my father had to help me get down
I know,
at his house.
Like this happened twice. Like so, after the first time, you thought, "Oh, I'll do it again."
Yeah,
Is that what happened?
I didn't think anything. I didn't think anything of it. The first time it was at my father's house, and then my father had to help me get down. Man was 75 years old, and he had to help me get off of his roof. And then a few years ago, I went up to clean do something. I don't know. I went to do something, and I couldn't get down. It's true. Yeah, I'm afraid of heights. Afraid of heights, I have claustrophobia. Okay, that's nothing. That's nothing to you. So what do you have going on this weekend?
This weekend, I'll probably be back at the comic strip.
Yeah?
Hopefully, yeah.
Good for you. I'm very happy.
Yeah, he has the late night shows that he was doing, and apparently you had to audition for him, which I didn't even know. He just told me to come back. It was like last week. The other comedian's like, "When did you audition?" I'm like, "For what?"
Because you went there for a fundraiser.
Yeah,
That's great. You went there for a fundraiser, and he's the owner.
yeah.
He saw you. That was your audition.
Yeah, it was my audition. I didn't even know, like, he was there. The other comedians like, yeah, we auditioned, and we waited forever in front of, like, 300 comedians. It was packed. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Say I'm happy for you.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, right. Good for you, Jack.
Yeah,
Good.
thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
Thanks. Yeah, it's fun. I'm having fun. So I've always wanted to do comedy, and I'm finally healthy enough to do it now. So
It was something you always liked. You were always
Yeah.
a fan.
Well, that's how I started, because I never went to comedy college or anything. I just wrote jokes in the hospital. And like, cause I was bored, even sitting in the waiting room to whatever in the hospital rooms, I was bored, and then I would just mess around with people anyway. So I'd write some stuff down, try it out, and my doctors and nurses, and most of it kind of sucked back then, but you know, they had everything going. So
you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
there you go, yeah.
You know,
So that's how I got started.
you can't get potty trained without staining the diaper or two. You know, happens. I was trying. I'm reaching for stuff.
I see.
You see that, right? But so you wanted to be a comedian, but who inspired you when you were young? There has to be
Like,
some reason
any-
that you wanted to write jokes.
Like who comedians? I always
What made you want to?
Oh, I would watch. I just remember watching comedians on stage. Well, I like making people laugh, and then like I would watch Comedy Central. I'd be like, I know that was a job. I'm gonna do that. Like,
Oh, all right.
yeah. And then I always like, if I guess a comedian I had to pay. I always listen to a lot of Mitch Hedberg. I like him. Oh, you gotta come.
That's my wife called up and said, "Yeah, let Jack talk a little bit, and why don't you shut your big mouth?"
I thought she said get off the ladder, but no.
Anyway, so what we're going to do right now, we're going to show one of our imaginary videos
Okay.
of our very special guest, Nigel Fullerton. So we're going to show this imaginary video and smile in the camera, and Nigel's going to appear, and now we're going to talk to Nigel.
Okay.
And
Here
all
we
right?
go.
So here we go. Here's our non-existent video. You're watching the Benny Rizzuti Show with my special honorary co-host, Jack Cloonan. We'll be right back with Nigel Fullerton. Okay, look stupid. Smile. Do this. All right. Okay, come on over, Nigel. Just walk right over. Slide over, sir.
Hey everybody.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Hey, Nigel.
I'm very happy to be here.
Make yourself comfortable.
Oh God, I'm trying to.
There's a pillow.
There's a
another
pillow here. There's
Jack will get you another pillow if you want one.
I'm good.
No, you get it for him.
yeah. I'm kind of a big guy. You don't want me falling behind the couch over here.
And welcome to the.
Hey,
Benny
I'm
Rizzuti Show.
glad to be here. I'm glad your jacket looks like a postage stamp. It looks like something Colin Kaepernick wouldn't support.
Oh man.
Starting from the gate. Starting from the gate.
No. He's an American. He's an American. You know, but like
I think he would be more of an American if he wore your jacket. You know when you see a real American when they wear that jacket? This is G.I. Joe's grandfather.
G.I. Joe's Italian grandfather. G.I. Geppetto.
G.I. Geppetto.
I'm a G.I. Geppetto.
How are you?
Very good. Are you comfortable?
I'm good.
I know. I got to bring more pillows.
It's
in.
okay.
All right,
okay.
good. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain.
I'm so happy you're on the show because
I'm happy to be here.
I met you like a month or so ago.
Yes.
I was doing a comedy show, and I was asking people to come to audition, and you wrote me and said, Benny, I've been trying to get a hold of you for... I said, Benny, I've been messaging you, and you haven't gotten back to me.
I just wanted to try out some jokes, man.
Yeah, he said, I'm messaging you, you're not getting back to me. And then I was like, and I think you wrote on my wall, right?
Yeah, I did.
So I go and I'm like, oh man, Nigel, it was one of those, one of those messages on social media
yeah.
that you didn't get, didn't realize somebody, and it was not. So then he came, and we had so much fun.
Yeah.
And then, so I asked you to come on the show, and I got to see you have some great. What can I? You have like a great resume.
I do. It doesn't get me into a club though.
No, how you still have to...
It still doesn't get me into a club. You tell people that you've been on this, you've been on that, and it still doesn't work for you. In the 80s, it worked. If you told somebody that you wanted facts of life, you would be headlining that week. Now you tell people that you're on a TV show, and they're like, so I've never seen it.
Yeah, and they've never seen you.
Yeah.
But, if it makes you feel any better, I have friends who do studio warm-ups,
Right.
and they go to other clubs and say their name, and the guy's like, who?
Yeah.
And so, some of these guys that have been around, now I'm talking about they've been around 30, 40 years,
Yeah.
and people still, well, I never heard of you.
Well, I like it because now I can actually go to the bathroom without somebody saying, "Hey, I know you."
All right, but tell us some of your credits.
Some of my credits, basically, I've been on Jimmy Kimmel, I've been on MTV, BET, I've done stuff for the Wendy Williams Show. I recently was on Hack My Life on True TV, and I recently shot a movie called Roxanne, Roxanne. I'll be in theaters next year.
Who else is in that movie?
I don't know if you know Nia Long.
No, do you?
See? Well, basically, Forrest Whitaker produced it. Also, Pharrell is another producer of it as well.
Oh, great.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
And is this going to be a movie going to theaters? Or?
Yeah, it's going to Sundance, then it's going to theaters.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Good. So
I can't talk too much about it, but yeah.
Do you have a significant part in it?
I have a significant part in it. I play a little known rapper that a lot of people know. His generation might know. I don't know if yours will.
I have a 23-year-old son.
He would know.
No, and I've been forced to listen to that.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for you.
Well, you
if he's 23, then he doesn't know what good rap music is.
You know, I'll tell you what about my son.
Yeah.
My son has a musical background and a love for music
Right.
that impresses me.
Mm.
So he knows a lot. He says, Dad, I won't listen to the Grateful Dead. I'm sorry.
Right.
He said he won't, but he loves the Beatles. He loves Frank Zappa,
Yeah.
which I didn't realize I was raising a little Zappa fan. I didn't realize, he was singing Hungry Freaks, Daddy, at 3 years old. And I thought it was cool. My son's singing Hungry Freaks, Daddy. And I thought it was cool. And then him and I have seen Dweezil Zappa 4 times together. So, and rap, he knows a lot of bit. So I don't know if I mentioned probably Biggie Smalls. Is that?
Oh my God, I get that. I get that comparison all the time. Actually, one time when I did the Jimmy Kimmel show, I'm on set with Alicia Keys, and she's saying hi to everybody, and she's like, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing?" Also, she looks at me. She takes one look at me. She says, "Biggie." Now I know I had gained some pounds, but I'm not notoriously big. When she said that, I had bit my tongue a little bit, and I started talking like Notorious B.I.G. the whole time. It was a great time, yeah.
So yeah. I'll tell you a story later because I want you guys to talk for a while,
goodness.
and then I'll tell you a story with a singer that I loved. You guys won't know or anything.
I probably would.
Well, maybe.
It depends if they're really popular.
Nah, they weren't super. They were one of those English progressive rock of the 70s.
You know what I was told? One time I was in a bar, and they said that there's a band called XTC.
Right.
They have a song called Making Plans for Nigel. Google that right now, people.
XTC, they might,
Have you ever listened to it?
Yeah, I have. There's a video. There's a music video for it. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It's the weirdest thing. I friended every person named Nigel on social media. So I shared this with all the Nigels, and they're like, I don't know what they're talking about. I've never made these plans before. That's
So all the Nigels, they should have consulted us before they wrote the song.
There are. My name is Nigel. On social media, my name is Nigel Alexander Fullerton. That's my full name. And there are about 6 or 7 Nigel Fullertons on social media.
Wow.
Oh, your last name? I thought you just meant...
No, they're Nigel Fullertons. I friended every Nigel Fullerton I can find, just so if I ever get a check that never comes to my house, I know where it's at. If the IRS is looking for me, no, you're not looking for me. You're looking for the other Nigel Fullerton. Look, I have proof.
Yeah.
One of them is my cousin.
Yeah.
Oddly, yeah. I have a cousin that's 5 years younger than me. And basically, when I was born, I think it was my father's cousin said, "What did you name your son?" "I'm going to name him the same thing." I was like, that's the laziest thing ever.
There are a lot of Bennies in my family. We don't all have the same last name, but
but in Italian families, there's a lot of Bennies, Jimmys,
Sal's,
Paulie. Little Paulie, Big Paulie, Mario's.
You gotta have a
You can go to an Italian wedding and meet 14 Vinnies. and 17 Jimmys.
And 75 Marias.
And I was about to say Maria too. Oh my God, Marias and Ginas.
I went with my family. We went to Florida for our cousin Paul. Yeah. Paulie got married. Little Paul.
No way.
Little Paulie.
Little Paulie got married.
I did not see this coming at all.
What?
What, Little Paulie been
He's
Paulie?
Italian
I'm waiting for this. I want to hear this.
So we go for the Little Paulie, and during the day we went to the pool first. We were getting ready. The wedding wasn't until like 6 o'clock. So we went. So then we went. We found a pizza place, pizza Italian restaurant to go eat, and it's in Florida, right? So we're in Florida, and my cousin Maria and I, and we're sitting, and her husband Dominic, and sitting down, and my son is Ryan. I didn't want my son to have an Italian name, so Ryan Rizzuti. So we're all sitting at the table, and we're talking, and it turns out a lot of people in Florida are from New York. We're there a lot. So this guy, he's talking. He's like making fun of us, but he was from Queens. So he says to me, what is he? He says, "Hey, Mario, go give Maria this pile here." And my cousin turns around and says, "He's not Mario, but I am Maria." He said, "I am Maria," and he says, "I figured that."
That's funny.
But we had fun, and then her husband Dominic, he wanted to go back the next day because they made great espresso.
Yeah.
And in Florida, it's hard to find like good pizza and good espresso.
Yeah. That's funny. So you named your son Ryan. I like that because I think that's what my parents did. I think because there's too many Jamals in the neighborhood, so they wanted a Nigel. They wanted somebody, and it's crazy too because I actually Googled my name. I found out that my name is so white that I used to own slaves in 1865. I still got freedom papers on people in Wyandanch. This is crazy. This is crazy. Like actually, and it's funny because I'm an African American man, and the first 3 letters of my name are N-I-G. If you don't speak English, something's wrong. You might be Paula Dean if you say my name the wrong way.
But your parents weren't even thinking that.
My father's name is Rupert. My father is from England. My father is Rupert Alexander Fulton. That's his name. He's very, very, very Jamaican English guy. Doesn't really speak that much. My mother is the one that's loud. My mother is very loud. My mother's a preacher.
Oh, she is?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Definitely, yeah.
Hey, Jack, tell us a little about you.
How can I compete with that?
He's just standing there laughing. Look at him. He's like,
I found when I
sit back, relax, Jack.
Hey, man.
Relax, man.
Listen.
Go ahead.
3 years cancer free. Come on, man.
That's right. That's right. Let's give him a little
relax about.
Yeah, relax.
There is another Jack Clunan I found.
Oh, okay.
But he's an FBI agent.
Oh.
And the problem I had was when I first started comedy. I thought, I put a lot of clips on YouTube, and then so my friends would type, Jack Clunan. When you type in Jack Clunan on Facebook, what comes up is Jack Clunan interrogation, Jack Clunan torture. My friends are like, what is this?
So you have to put a middle initial.
I have to put comedy. Jack Clunan comedy.
I believe that. I believe that.
My friends are like, where is it? I don't want to want the guy being tortured. Where is it?
Listen, one of the Nigel Fullertons that I friended is a white guy that plays soccer in Australia. So it's okay. It's okay. They type in my name, they look at me, and they're like, "Oh, that's not the same guy."
That's not the soccer player.
That's the soccer player.
You don't look like a soccer player.
I was just, listen, you never know what I used to run track. I don't know if you know this.
I don't.
Spring 1999, Half Hollow Hills.
Yeah? Wow.
Yeah. Shot put, discus, and long jump.
I was 6 years old.
It's okay.
How old are you now?
23.
You're 20. You're my son's age,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. You know nothing about rap.
My son
Everybody in
does.
rap mumbles now.
What's your type of music? What do you like?
I do like a lot of rap and hip hop.
Yeah?
I like rock and stuff too.
Rock too, yeah.
My favorite's probably Eminem.
Oh yeah, that's rap. That's not rock.
That's not.
I know.
Me. See,
said,
you let them know.
Right.
I like Eminem too. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But go ahead. You let them know. You let them know.
You tell
that's
me,
not rock.
Guy who could be my father.
Actually, I had my son later in life. I was 38 when he was born.
That's probably when I'm going to start having kids. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. I forget it. I'm about to turn 40.
Yeah.
Giving up my life.
Then trust me. When you get close to retirement, you're like, what the hell? What was I thinking 38? At 38. What was it? And at that time, I was so happy that my son was going to be born and everything. And then when he was, I was like, I just want to be surrounded by kids. I wanted to like adopt any kid. I wanted to just grab kids off the street. Don't worry, I'm a better parent than yours. Come with me. And I just wanted to. And now I'm like, one is a problem.
Yeah. I have 9 nieces and nephews.
Oh man!
I have 9 nieces and nephews. I really want to have kids. Like, I'm at the age where I want to settle down. I want to have kids and everything. And I'm not sure if I want it, but my girlfriend definitely doesn't want it. I want them. My girlfriend doesn't want them. So what she does is she tests me to see if I'm good with kids. So what she did one time is she left me with my nieces and nephews for a whole day. I didn't know what to do, so I just put away my stuff, let them mess with her stuff. They went through her underwear drawer, they found her bras, they found her sex toys.
Oh.
And they came up to me and asked me, what are these? And I told them a serious question. I told them they're Nintendo Wii controllers. And we played Wii tennis all afternoon, just a whole bunch of... Till the thing started vibrating, I told them they had the high score.
That's stuff that won't make it to cable, but it's funny as hell. It's funny as hell. That's all right. We need room for the video.
Of course. Listen, this is for the people online.
That's right. You people online, you get a special treat. Now, okay, we talked about you did the movie. You were on.
Yeah.
How many times were you on Kimmel? Just one time?
Just the one time. Just the one time. It was back when Hurricane Sandy hit.
Okay,
so,
a couple of years ago.
Nobody saw it because no one had electricity. Nobody saw it. It was the time for me to make my big break, and nobody saw it.
Oh man! So the rerun they never called, or
they put it back on reruns, like it ran again, but now it only lives on YouTube.
Oh. All right, let me tell you. I want to tell you a story about my wife and I don't know what happened. Sometimes my wife and I we get along. We've been together a long time, but once in a while you have those fight things. So she got mad at me. So she wasn't going with her friends to go see The View. Her friends were going to The View. And they had tickets. They were going to go to The View. So because of me, and I still don't remember what it was I did, but because of you, I'm not going. So she didn't go. So her one friend that was going was rubbing it in my wife's face that Leonardo DiCaprio was going to be there. And I'm missing Leonardo DiCaprio because of you. And it's my fault she's going to miss. Because now, I said, well, why don't you go? No, she gave the ticket to someone else. So anyway, it turns out it snowed. Ooh. So the weather was so bad, the airport was closed.
Yes.
So Leo didn't come. So there was a dog show in the city. Yeah. So the dog the dog smelled so bad, and because Whoopi's allergic, Whoopi wasn't even there.
Oh, wow.
So you're going to see The View without Whoopi. How can you go see...
You can't go see The View without
Whoopi. You go see The View without Whoopi. Whoopi wasn't there. So they go, and one of my wife's friends, her daughter was pregnant. Mm-hmm. So here she is with the smell of these animals, and they gave them... they gave them like a 6-month supply of dog food, like a voucher. All right, so my wife was a little happy about that, but still, they were on TV and all this other view. So then, the day they decide to air it, when it's finally going to be aired, is the day that Tiger Woods decides to speak about the domestic problem he had with his wife. So they're about to show The View, and here comes Tiger Woods, and so they cut. So now my wife is grateful. Now, that's why she doesn't remember what I did, because I saved her from going to the city during a snowstorm and a dog show that she would have hated, and then it never made it to TV.
Thank you, Tiger Woods. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiger.
Thank you very much, Tiger. Yeah. Please do that again one more time. Please. I don't like Leonardo DiCaprio at all. Please do it again.
Oh, that would have killed me if Leo was there.
You would have been hearing about that forever. You sound like my dad. It's like, I screw up now, I have to hear about it and the car ride home.
I think that's what
And then-
marriage is.
And then,
I think that's what
and then
it
10
is.
years later, she's gonna remind me again about something I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. Every time Titanic comes on, it's your fault.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my wife is like, if there's an earthquake somewhere, I hear her yelling to my son, this earthquake would have never happened if your father had thrown the garbage out on Wednesday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what marriage. That's
Right,
your
that's
future.
I feel like
That's
I'm in my,
that's your future.
That's your view. If you
like I'm
cleaned
at
out
my
the
house.
gutters when I told you to, there would have been no tsunami in Hawaii.
See, and now when you grow up, you're gonna wear a jacket just like that,
And a hat too.
and a hat just
And a
like
hat.
you're gonna look like one of the zookeepers.
Yeah, right now you
You're
have
gonna
a
look
great
like Jack Hanna.
hairline. You're gonna have this hairline. Right? This is gonna be your
That's your
hairline.
future.
That's my future.
That's the ghost of Christmas present. Right there.
The ghost of marriage past.
That's my future. I can't wait for cancer
Why?
to come back.
Oh, man. Oh, don't say that.
No wonder you're at the strip.
Don't say that.
You want to-
Yeah, I want it back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He needs his hat back. That's the commercial break right there. We'll be back, folks.
You guys are fun. I gotta have the both of you guys together again.
I ever tell you the reason why I started doing comedy is because I used to move around a lot. I'm originally from Amityville, and I move around the island a lot. So I ended up in a new school, and they told me there's two things you got to do. You got to either be funny or you got to play sports. And at the time, I wasn't really good at sports. So I was like, all right, I got to be funny. So what should I do? So I watched there was like one summer I watched the whole thing on Eddie Murphy, and I used to love watching the Eddie Murphy movies. So what I did was I just watched them and just memorized them all. And then I wanted to be on TV, so what I did was I entered one of those drama classes, whatever. And to do the drama class, you have to have a monologue. I didn't know what a monologue was, so they just said it's just a scene from your favorite movie. So I took the Nutty Professor, and I came into class and went, "Oh, fabulous! Ain't nothing like having a good hot meal. Oh, fabulous! Yes! Oh, fabulous! Oh, Sherman's like we don't see you no more. Sherman. And I did the whole scene, 6 different characters, different dialogues, back and forth. They were like, "What are you doing?" A monologue is one person, one thing that they said. I'm doing different characters. I'm coming in this one. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on, Sherman? How you doing?" Well, I've been real busy with my research. Only thing you need to study is your butt. I have a big butt. Your mama got a big butt. Cletus, it's true. Butts are big in the family. You always gonna be fat. And that was like my whole thing, and they just looked at me like I was possessed.
But you didn't know, yeah. You just.
I didn't know.
That's great. We don't know. We don't know things, and
I didn't know.
And for some reason, people. It's easier to laugh at than to teach you how to do it because almost anybody can do almost anything.
Right.
You could even perform brain surgery, but you have to learn how it's done.
Well, don't let Ben Carson perform brain surgery. He looks like he'll drop the scalpel.
He looked like he was one of them guys that just told you what to do. like he was book smart.
Go over there. Change this.
There were some people in the world that are very they're book smart.
Right.
And because very intelligent man. But to me, he's like the type of guy that...
He's not smart.
Not smart. Like, yeah. Like not a mechanic.
Smarts. Yeah.
Because a good surgeon should be a mechanic. You gotta know how to fix something.
Exactly.
He's the type of guy that, well, according to the book, right?
I bet you if you put Ben Carson versus a wise guy, I bet you the wise guy will win every time. I think if you had surgery going on, the wise guy would probably get it a bit faster than Ben Carson.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah, because the wise guy will tell you what to do. The wise guy will be like, just do it over here, put it over there, and he's done. Ben Carson just has to tell you the physics. So basically, back in the day, we were like this, and now we're like this. I don't know what that means.
That's just a musical interlude. I can't. Once in a while, I'm a prop guy. I'm going to be 61 years old, and I still. Thank you. I walk into a store and I look at something and I'm like, "Ooh, I don't have a rubber chicken." Ooh,
whoopee cushion.
Whoopee cushion.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have a Spider-Man that hangs upside down at home. I got 2 mannequins.
Nice.
Female mannequins.
Oh yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm a guy. Halloween. I can't walk into a store that has a Halloween. I see those animated Halloween things. Oh, I got to buy a couple of them. And then my wife is like, "What are you gonna do? We live on a dead end street. Nobody comes down here."
That'd be the perfect place to go on Halloween. It's
That's what
already
you
dead.
would think, and nobody does. They don't.
You just go hit around in a circle. That's all.
No, we're not a cul-de-sac.
Oh,
though.
not
We're
a cul-de-sac. It's just straight ahead.
And I'm the last house.
What are you, the horror house?
I'm last house on the left. Yeah.
The last house on the left.
I am the last. Whenever I call a delivery guy,
Yeah.
I'm on a dead end street. Last house on the left.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. Wait, it's going to take us about 2 hours, sir.
Where do you live? 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
Yeah.
We're the Munsters. You don't know that reference. It's okay.
Do you know the Munsters?
Yeah, I know the Munsters.
Oh, all right.
I'm
You're so
sorry.
young.
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Look at that.
I'm sorry.
Which Munsters though? The color version or
No,
the black and white?
He doesn't know. See, the color version was a comeback on. See, I remember the color version. But there was the black and white one is the one that was on Nick at Night.
Oh, okay.
The color version you'll never see
You can't
ever
find
in
that
life.
one. That was like a reboot.
I didn't even know that
There was a reboot. They rebooted Leave It to Beaver around the same time. It was horrible, man.
I didn't even know they had a colored version.
Listen, it was the early '90s, man. You don't want to do that again. Trust me.
In the 80s, they were so much into color that they started a colorization, which I'm glad it didn't.
That was so bad.
It didn't.
It didn't last.
It didn't last.
Yeah.
They were taking vintage black and white movies, which I don't know if you like old black and white, like Casablanca and stuff, and they were colorizing
them. Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't good.
You know,
It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life would look like, an oil painting. Like, yeah, it was
and there's always a scene here and there in black and white that they just said, they,
whatever.
yeah. But yeah, they were doing that, and it didn't. I'm glad it didn't really.
Yeah,
they do it now. They enhance some of the old movies that were done in color.
Right, which is better than what they were doing because it just looked like they would just took a little kid and gave him a Crayola and just colored in all the dark spots. That's what it was.
But they tried to do it because, for me, it was different. For me, before you had all these channels on cable, you only had a few. You only had like channel 2, 4, 7, and 9 and 11. And there was a UHF.
We just talked about this earlier.
All right, UHF. And my family would watch channel 47 because a lot of my family came from Sicily, but it was Spanish.
It was Spanish.
But they liked it because at least it was close enough to their language. So they would watch it in Spanish. But
we
channel
just talked about this
when we got here.
Because the dials used to break off, and you had to get pliers to turn it, and it would be like 2, 4, 6, and it don't get UHF. You had to get the UHF, and you have to tune it.
Yeah, UHF. You had to tune it. UHF was just it was not a regular number like the other one was.
I had an uncle that was on drugs back in the day. I didn't know he was on drugs, but he would always have me as his channel changer. So I would always try to change the channel, and he was like, it was always Taxi. He always wanted to watch Taxi, and Taxi was never on when he wanted to watch it. So I'm searching through the channels, cranking it, and he's like, I just want to watch Taxi, and I'm turning it, and Taxi never came on.
We didn't have remotes at first. We didn't have a remote. The sound was terrible on the TVs most of the time.
Yeah.
And there was no VCR, so that's why going to the movies was so much fun too.
Yeah.
Because you'd go see something on a big screen, very clear, really nice, great sound, and they would do revivals. So they would have and it didn't matter if the movie was in color or black and white.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. I used to go see the Marx Brothers. Are you familiar with the Marx Brothers?
Groucho, nope.
Chico, Harpo.
Yeah.
One of the funniest.
Mark.
Marx, M-A-R-X.
The guy with the funny mustache.
Yeah. You watch their movies. See, now the young people, my son is a film major, so he got into it.
He's going to watch it.
He
I'm a
watches
film major
it.
too. That's
all
why.
right. So you watch, but I know a lot of people your age, and even people older than you, people in their 30s and stuff, wouldn't watch it because they grew up with so much color. Everything was in color.
Everything was in color.
But before the VCRs, I would go see the Marx Brothers would do a revival and normal time, not a midnight show.
Mm-hmm.
They would do the 10 Commandments would come back. Gone with the Wind was never on TV for a long time.
Yeah.
The Godfather, you wanted to see you had to go to the movie theater, and it would come back every year or so.
In the movie theater.
In the movie theater.
So they made more money. That's how they did
and then
it.
VCRs came, and then all of a sudden, that's when things started to be, you have to have it fast, it's got to
Right.
be new.
Right.
All of a sudden, fast and new, because in the beginning, it was cool that, my friends of mine, they would get a VCR, and they'd be like, come over, we're going to watch the movie Being There, or come over, we're going to watch Casablanca. We're going to watch some old The Wizard of Oz. You got it on tape now. You don't have to go to the theater to see it. So we're watching stuff on tape, and it was cool. But then it got to new. Well, what just came out? What came, and let's, and that's now, it seems like it's happened so much that I can find the movies I really like for $5 and $3. And music was like that, but it looks like rock and roll. Oh, the rock and roll that I grew up with.
It's gone.
Yeah, but you try to find it, and it's Pink Floyd and stuff.
Yeah.
Those albums are still, the price doesn't go down on Pink Floyd.
Oh, no, it doesn't, because it's a classic.
The
Things that are classics don't go down. The price of Beatles music will never go down. Michael Jackson owns all of it.
Yeah, but he's dead.
I know.
Michael Jackson. We were talking earlier. We were saying, I think off the air, we were talking about when certain people passed away. When Michael Jackson passed away.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I went out. I'm like, I don't have any Michael Jackson on CD. Are you kidding me? Because I have everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how could I not have Michael Jackson? I had to go out and get one.
You went and bought it. Me and him, torrents. Legally downloading.
All right,
sorry,
yeah.
this is on camera.
Oh, yeah.
All
Sorry,
right,
I
but
snitched on myself.
everyone, you down, or you go to one of those
you go to
websites,
one of those sites,
and you get the song, you pay a little bit for it. See, I can't still, because I go to Amazon, and I'll buy, once in a while something, I'll be like, oh, Traffic, which I don't know if you ever heard of Traffic.
Right.
With
I've
Steve
heard of
Winwood,
it.
yeah. So, I'm like, oh, I need, so I go on and you buy the CD, but you can also download it, so they say it's a downloadable, so I'll get it. They're going to send me the copy, but I can download it ahead of time. But since at my age, downloading could mean my computer might crash.
Right.
I don't download. I don't do
But
that.
the CD might scratch.
Yeah.
That's the thing. See, I had a conversation with somebody about this yesterday. Did you ever think in your years that CDs would get replaced with MP3s?
No, I didn't.
You thought CDs were going to last. People thought tapes were going to last. People thought VHS tapes were going to last.
I didn't think it was going to get to a point where some of these musicians and bands and people, if you're not like Barbra Streisand or Bob Dylan, someone else that's been around a long time, the record company doesn't want you to make a complete CD anymore. They want a few songs.
Yeah, they want EPs.
To be, so they can be downloadable
Exactly.
now. Because Fleetwood Mac, for example, a lot of people know, Fleetwood Mac, they wanted to make another album, and they were told, no, just make a couple of songs.
Right.
The only people that can make an album right now is Bob Dylan and Barbra Streisand, seems to be. And the Rolling Stones.
The Rolling Stones, but because they have a fan base, they feel like some people don't have the fan base to make the songs to, so they don't want to take a gamble. See, a lot of times what happened was back in like 70s, 80s, and even 90s, you had a lot of one-hit wonders. And you had a lot of albums that people didn't want to buy the whole thing. They just wanted that one song. Well, now what they did is they don't take risk anymore. So now they just say, hey, listen, just put out a couple songs and we'll give you some money for it. That's it.
That happened in the 80s with the new wave stuff.
Right.
I don't know if you... a lot of new wave people. Nuclear Day, I think was...
Nuclear Day. Aha.
Yeah, the Thompson Twins.
Yep.
Wow.
There was... Yeah, they were...
Yeah, getting education too. Look at that.
I was single in the 80s, so to me,
See?
even though I was born in 55 and I had the 60s and 70s of the great music, in the 80s I was still single while my friends were trying to put kids through college. I was hanging out in the bars listening to the...
I'm him back then now.
That's so funny. But then, then I reached a point where I was like, what am I doing? Well, you gotta have something.
Yeah.
And then you'll hate yourself because then I don't know what you do for a living outside of comedy.
Right.
But you're gonna need that steady paycheck with the hospitalization.
I already had that conversation with him. I was like, listen, know what you want to do. And just go out there with a plan. That's all I gotta tell you. Because it's long and then you're gonna be broke for a very long time. I just want to let you know that.
Unless you find some way to make
Unless you do.
write
I
a
haven't-
book. You could write a book with
Yeah, I
what
know. I'm already planning. Everybody always asks me like, right?
you should write a book because
Yeah.
wouldn't you want to read I would want to read your book.
I want to read your book too. First, you gotta buy my mother's book. My mother's book is out in stores.
Oh,
right now.
yeah?
Yeah, my mother had cancer a couple of years ago too.
And
had
she
breast
wrote a
cancer.
book?
Yeah, she wrote a book.
And your mother is a preacher, though,
Yes,
reverend.
yes.
Your mother's a reverend.
So yeah, her whole book is about faith, basically.
So do you have to go to what kind of church is it?
Well, right now she has a non-denominational church.
Okay.
So it's basically like whoever wants to believe. It's a ministry, basically, she calls it. So right now she doesn't have a physical church, but it's more like they meet every couple of Saturdays out the month, just so they can fellowship and do what they got to do.
And they meet in certain areas.
Mhm, yeah, but mostly she.
I have a house like that down at the end of my block. Yeah, a Spanish woman.
Oh,
that they
okay.
all get together my
Yeah.
wife at first thought something fishy was going on. And
But you're the house on the end of the.
I'm at the end.
Yeah,
and this was the house by the street, right? And there were all these cars were coming and parking.
Yeah.
So they were all, and my wife was like, I think something's going on. I think there's a bordello or something. My wife thought it was. So then I drove by one time and I said, honey, if there's a bordello, they were all bringing Bibles into this house.
Exactly.
Because I saw people coming out with
Right.
So they had like a.
Well, hers is more. She goes to like let's say it's a hotel, and she goes to the conference center, and she does all her stuff there. So she does certain events and does all the stuff on Facebook. I mean, on social media.
All right.
And
Now-
she has a website.
But you don't go to that then.
Not as much.
Does she make you go to church every Sunday?
No, when I was younger, yes, but when I got older, I was like, listen, I got to make the decision for myself. So I figured out I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
All right, but you don't.
Yeah.
You don't go. You.
I work a lot on Sundays, so right now, so that's
All
that's
right.
the only
Okay.
thing.
When I was a bartender, I go now. I go.
Yeah.
I go by myself. My wife doesn't go. My wife didn't believe me at first. So I said, so you think that I'm having an affair with you with some woman that wants to wake up at 9:30 every Sunday morning to see me, to look at this face? You think some woman is waking up and she
Is
says,
it Catholic church or is it
a Catholic church,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And I won't wear this jacket. Even the priest would laugh at me. But my wife said, could you call with your cell phone and just leave it on so she get one time? I said, no, I'll do better than that. I'll ask the priest for a receipt. I'll
Exactly.
be like, Father, can I have a receipt, please?
It's receipts.
You know, my wife doesn't believe I'm here at church.
Can you spray some frankincense on me?
And it actually, I used to go when I was young. Do
Yeah.
Some of the water.
Take some holy
Yeah.
water with
you
you.
go? Do you
Like,
go to
listen.
church?
Not really.
No?
Sometimes. My
No,
dad goes sometimes, and I usually go on like Christmas and Easter.
Well, Christmas I can't go because I'm Sicilian, so we have a big feast on Christmas Eve.
Or Christmas.
You know,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
too full. He's too full. He's like, oh.
I want to go to the Christmas Eve mass,
Yeah, that's what.
but I'm with my family. By the time that ends,
Yeah.
the mass is So I love my family. I love church. I love God, but if it's an opportunity, you have to cherish every opportunity you can
Right.
get with your family. I used to go when I was young. I was very religious, and then I had my period where I was partying. I was a bartender. So on Sunday,
Yeah.
I got home at 7 a.m. from work.
Yeah, you weren't
I
going.
wasn't going to church.
Yeah.
Then when my son was growing up and he made his communion, I was going with him, taking him to.
Right.
And then my son made his communion, and now he's at the point where he doesn't go to church, and I'm still going. I stopped for a little while, and I'm back.
Yeah.
And then this past Sunday, I didn't want to go. I was one of those lazy. I'm lazy.
It was football Sunday.
It was football Sunday.
You know?
It was September 11th. So I said, I told my wife, I said, I didn't want to go to church today, but she says, it's September 11th. And I said, that's what I said.
It's a sad day.
It's a sad day, but it was good to go because I won't go to church on, I won't go like Easter time. I
Yeah.
did when Ryan was little. When he was a baby, we would take him.
Right.
But now it's too crowded. And Palm Sunday is like they're giving something free. It's like opening day at Yankee Stadium. Or something.
Yeah.
It's like Bat Day.
That day.
It's like Bat Day. Everybody's going for the free palms.
Oh,
And
wow.
you can't park. There's no point. Standing room only.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'll avoid church for certain holiday things. Yeah, I'll avoid it.
Yeah. September 11th is sad.
Yeah, but it was, it's nice to go to church there. I mean, in the city, it's probably more it's probably sadder. Like if you go to St. Patrick's Church and
Yeah, it probably
In the
is.
city?
You know what album came out on September 11th?
what?
Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. Mariah Carey's Glitter
Oh, really?
came out. And she blamed the sales. She blamed the album sales on the attacks.
That movie Glitter was terrible.
It was
right?
terrible. She blamed the album sales on the attacks.
And Zoolander came out that way. Zoolander.
No, Zoolander was next week.
Was the
Zoolander-
following
yeah,
week.
the following week, yeah.
And they had to pull it because they were the Twin Towers. Were in it. They
Yeah.
had to brush out the.
Really?
Same
World
thing.
Trade.
Same thing with Spider-Man. Spider-Man came out the next year, but they had shot the promos and they had to take it out.
I saw the promos that summer
Mm-hmm.
because, as I said, my son loves movies, so we went.
Yeah.
And the promo was that this helicopter was flying, and all of a sudden it got stuck, and Spider-Man made a web between the
Yep.
two towers.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you can find it if you go
can
online.
find it. It's on there.
You can find it, the original trailer, and it was the original trailer. And it got so supposedly they cut out a lot of Spider-Man
Yeah.
because he hung out up there, so they had to cut
Oh, that
that.
was.
Yeah, they had to cut out a lot of
Wow.
it. Yeah.
That must have.
A lot of movies, a lot of things were.
You were 6.
you were 6.
8.
8. You were 8. Yeah, that's right. My son was 8.
I remember what it was. I was in 3rd grade, and then I remember a lot of kids got pulled out early, and we had no idea why.
I was
What
stuck.
But
in-
you stayed the whole time. You were stuck in school.
Yeah, my parents were like, "I'll be fine."
No, I was in college. I was stuck because they closed. I went to NYIT. They closed Northern Boulevard. I couldn't get any place, and at the time, a lot of people didn't have cell phones back then.
Right.
So I had no way to call anybody to come get me. I was stuck on campus the whole day. I'm watching the BBC News because that was the only news channel that we can get there, and I didn't know what to do.
I had cousins who worked there, and my one cousin looked like one of those guys covered with the ash. He had the ash all over him,
Right. Oh wow.
all over him. And one of my cousins who lived in Brooklyn, not too far from there, called him and told him to come.
Yeah.
He wound up walking, and he wound up on the Staten Island ferry and went with our other family in Staten
wow,
Island.
yeah.
But he didn't even know. He
I
told
would've
me.
did that.
He says, "I don't even know what I
The
did."
phones weren't working that day.
Yeah.
None of the phones were like if you tried to call somebody, the phones weren't working.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was bad.
Yeah. Oh, it was really
It was bad because I had a payphone. I had to use payphone to call my mother. I couldn't get in touch with her. I was like, I'm stuck here.
You're laughing now, but it
Yeah.
wasn't. It was horrible.
It was
I
horrible.
left work early. I was at work, and I remember it happened like 9:30 or so.
Mm.
I left work. I raced and my wife had called me, and I'm not sure if I had a cell phone then or she called me at work and
Yeah.
said, "What's going on?" I think she called me at work. "What's going on?" So I told her, and then she was a school bus driver.
Right.
So she picked my son up right away, picked up a few other kids, and came back to where we were living at the time, and I raced home. I got home, and then I remember it was so weird. It was
Yeah.
very, very strange. That's why September 11th was 2 days ago, and
That's
I'm
why
wearing
you're
this
wearing this
jacket. Yeah.
We had to put it in there. We had
Yeah.
to come full circle.
No, I'm glad you.
Let's
But,
call callback people.
and I remember what was so weird was
Yeah.
we had a no-fly zone for
Right.
for a few weeks.
Yeah.
They just flew a few people out, but there was a no-fly, and that was strange. You don't realize how you take for granted planes and helicopters flying overhead, especially on Long Island,
Yeah.
and then you didn't see anything. That was so weird. It was just so strange.
You know what was great? This probably was great for you, but bad for you. They banned Eminem for a whole month. No Eminem music for a month. So
I
you
don't-
were like, oh, great. Him, there was no Eminem. You couldn't listen to fight music. Couldn't lose yourself.
No losing.
He's like, oh, great. No rap music. That's the best.
I love all kinds of music,
Yeah.
everything except but rap rhymes with crap. That's what I would say that in my act. Rap
Yeah.
rhymes, but I'll be honest with you. There are groups that people listen to that they're into now. And I'm one of those guys that sometimes I'm a late starter. I'll listen to it. The band is broken up. They're not even around anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, these guys were good, you know? Like Fish. I never heard Fish, but they say if you're a Grateful Dead fan, you have to listen to
Yeah,
Fish.
well, all they did was smoke weed. So that's all they're potheads.
All this
If you
songs
meet Fish fans have like they have dreadlocks. They're like these grungy white guys with like knotted hair.
I hate.
You never heard Fish?
Whenever I see a white guy with dreadlocks, I'm just embarrassed on behalf of all white people. Like what? Do you have a mirror? Like,
You know. We got 5 fingers to go.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
So a whole bunch of Shaggy from Scooby-Doo looking people.
I was one of those people, but back when it was hip.
Yeah. That's
I
what
was
Fish
one of those.
Scouts are.
You know, I was one of those Grateful Dead. I used to go see the Grateful Dead. I saw them like maybe 10 times, which is not a lot. You know, not a lot to qualify as a deadhead.
Right.
You know, but I saw them a lot all over the East Coast.
Mm.
You know, I saw them.
My dad like raised me and my brother on the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, and I'm so jealous because my brother, believe it or not, he actually got a job in Cuba as a tour guide, and he got to see the Rolling Stones this past March.
Wow.
And he was right there. He has all the pictures. I'm like, wow, you lucky.
Now, we saw Paul McCartney. I took my son. We saw Paul McCartney, so that was cool. But and my son talked us into buying tickets for all kinds of people. I saw Joe Cocker.
Okay.
You know, because he was younger, he wanted to go to. He got my wife to take him to see Jethro Tull and Peter Frampton. But the Rolling Stones, I have almost everything. I even have that collection from the London years. I have
the big the 3 CDs.
Right, with the booklet and everything and the big box. Yeah, I have so much Stones. So my son says, Dad, you have all these Rolling Stones, yet you never saw them in concert. I said, because they were usually drunk, they were usually stoned, and they didn't sound that great. You know, I go to see bands that sound good or better live. And to me, the Rolling Stones were really never one of those bands. They had their great nights. I mean, they had a few concerts, ladies and gentlemen, the Rolling Stones. But a lot of times you saw them, and they were plastered. I heard Keith Richards falling.
Oh, yeah, well, he's known for that.
Yeah, well,
and Bob Dylan's another one. I love Bob Dylan, but I'm not going to see him now. He's singing Frank Sinatra. I'm sorry, I can't see Bob Dylan crooning.
Mumbling songs.
And Dylan...
It's Chris.
And Bob Dylan's one of those guys that doesn't care. He doesn't care what you want to hear. He
doesn't.
He'll play what he wants. And Lou Reed was another guy like that. I like Lou Reed. I don't know. You familiar with Lou? Take a Walk on the Wild Side?
I know.
And all the color girls say do 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 do.
He was always he had that other song, Waiting for My Man.
Yeah.
And the guy, hey white boy, what you doing around here? Hey white boy, get out of our neighborhood. Yeah. Lou Reed, he grew up on Long Island and he would never admit it.
A lot of them don't admit it.
He wanted to be a city boy.
Oh.
Anyway, guys, I think I'm having a lot of fun. I want to thank you both.
Oh, thank you.
And anything, you can find you on, you have a website?
You can find me on social media. You can find my website, thefully.com.
You have some podcasts.
I have a podcast. It's called the Sweaty Contest Podcast. It's about 2 fat guys that give out health advice. I also have a web series called Ask Holes on YouTube. You can find that if you type the name in, Ask Holes. You can find that, and it's very funny. It's about comedians who talk about certain topics and all the pop culture stuff. So it was great stuff. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, thank you, Jack.
Thanks for having me as well. I can't compete with that. You can just find me on social media itself, but it's cool to be here.
Jack Clunan and Nigel Fullerton.
Hey.
Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Love to have you back.
Oh, thanks.
Right,
Oh, and also, I'm a transplant recipient, so if you think about transplantation really works, so think about becoming a donor. So.
Oh, great. That's great. And when I say goodbye, as I always tell you, laugh and the world laughs with you, crying to cry alone. Have a great week, everybody.
Take care.
And I was laughing with these 2 gentlemen.